Hi, good morning. Bumalik ako kahit matulog na muna ako. Napaka-importante lang po aking i-discuss at para ma-educate, malalaman din ng aking tagapakinig kung ano ba ang cyberlibel. Ang pag-usapan po natin ngayon, yung pag-convict ng Regional Trial Court of Quezon City, Branch 93, laban kay Mr. Frank Cinatu sa nahinatulan siya ng pagkakulong at sinasabi dito sa kanyang kulong ay tingnan ko yung desisyon habang binabasa ko yung desisyon. Pinasa po sa akin ang kopya ni Frank Cinatu. Hiningi ko rin kanina. Ang sentensya, sinabi ng Branch 93 kay Judge Cabuchan Santos, Evangeline si Cabuchan Santos, isang magandang judge to. Actually, nung wala lang ito sa awa, haligawan ko to, napakaganda niya. Anyway, sinabi niya ay sinentensya, nagkasala daw si Frank Cinatu ng libel, cyber libel, at yan ay pinarasuhan niya ng minimum ng 6 na buwan at 1 araw ng prison correctional minimum hanggang sa 5 taon at 5 buwan at 11 araw na pagkakulong sa prison correctional na maximum. So, yan po. So, magandang umaga po kay Celerino Bularan, kay Francisco Camacho. So, mag-aaral kayo ngayon kung anong libel law. Ang pag-usapan natin sa libel law ay may jurisdiction ba, may kapangyarihan bang RTC sa libel case na ito o wala? At saan ba yung ano bang pamantayan para magkaroon ng karapatan at kapangyarihan ng isang korte na magdinig ng kaso at sentensya sa akusado. So ito po, babasahin ko muna sa English tapos mamaya i-explain ko sa Tagalog. Sinulat ko po kasi ito with due respect. No? Basahin ko muna yung informasyon na sinasabi. Ang informasyon, yan po yung statement kung paano daw nagawa ng krimen, paano daw nagawa ng akusado ang krimen. So na-type ko na to. So anyway, basahin ko yung akusasyon sa English. That on or about 24th day of September 9, 2017, in Quezon City, Philippines, where the offended party holds the public office at the time of the commission of the offense or the publication of the alleged libel on Facebook, the said accused, si Frank Cinatu, with malicious intent of impeaching the honesty, virtue, character, and reputation of Emmanuel Pinol Infantin, na dating gobernador ng Cotabato at dating secretary ni President Digong, Secretary of Agriculture, the incumbent Secretary of the Department of Agriculture, and with the evident purpose of injuring and exposing him to public ridicule, hatred, and contempt, did then and there willfully, unlawfully, and maliciously post in the social networking website Facebook or through a computer system the following message. So ito yung tandaan nyo ito yung pinost ng reporter ng Baguio. Agri-sec. Reached by Agri-sec got reached by 21M or million in 6 months. Bird flu pa more. Yun lang ang pinost niya sa Facebook. Ulitin ko sa Tagalog. Si Agri-sec daw ay, kung sa Tagalog pa, ay yumaman ng 21 million sa 6 na buwan. Bird flu pa more. Ibig sabihin ng bird flu yung sakit, no? So ngayon, matanong ko kayo, ito ba'y libelous? Pag-usapan natin mamaya. Naka-English ito. Ang argumento, ginawa ko ito para matulungan din ang journalist sa Baguio. At sinasabi niya, Agri-sec got reached by 21M in 6 months. Bird flu pa more. With which published post, the said accused meant and intended to convey, as in fact, it conveyed false and malicious imputations of defect. Sabi niya, of defect. Anong binanggit sabi ng akusasyon? Nang ginawa daw ni Frank ni Frank Cinatu ay nagsalita siya patukoy kay Emmanuel Pinol na Secretary ng Department of Agriculture na may depekto daw siya at may kondisyon na masama siguro tingnan sa kanya at status. So vice, vice, ibig sabihin bisyo. So, ibig sabihin, ang inaakusa kay Frank Cinatu ay nag-post na siya ng Facebook post na sinabi ko, agri-sec got rich by 21M in 6 months, bird flu pa more. Tanong, may libel ba dyan? Ganun lang simple, wala sa ibang kwento. So ngayon, ang sinabi dito ay sa akusasyon mismo na nakasulat ay hindi sinabi na ang ito ay patungkol sa krimen. Walang sinabi. So, ang tanong ko rito ngayon, mamaya i-discuss ko na mali ang impormasyon at walang basihan ang RTC Court of Appeals na RTC of Quezon City Branch 93 na sintensyahan si Frank Calapri o di kaya yung yung Baguio journalist. So magbasa muna tayo, no? Si Elena Magno, good morning. Si Juriel Rial, good morning. Jerry Castillion, good morning. Si Manolito Mata, good morning. Si Ike Marquez, good morning. Si Demi Argamino, good morning. Si Edel Aguilar, good morning. Stanley Garcia, good morning. Enrique Mantila, good morning. So Ed Erstein, good morning. Si Jari Castillion, good morning. Watching from Ohio. Si Ike Nokis, watching from Kalbo na Gwapo. Ako po si Kalbo na Gwapo. Ako po Kalbo, pero ako po si Vin Diesel ng Pilipinas. Sabihin ko na, Vin Diesel ng Manila kasi marami kaming mga Vin Diesel. Si Bato de la Rosa, Vin Diesel din. So anyway, I will now proceed with my discourse. I wrote it in English and I want to discuss it in English first and before I will explain to you in Tagalog. This is intended to be filed at the Regional Trial Court of Quezon City as part of my advocacy to help journalists to be free from imprisonment. Just because of this post, I don't believe, no, I will discuss it, why it is not libelous to say agri-sec got rich by 21 million in 6 months. Bird flu pa more. Walang libel doon. Kaya lang, balat si boys na talaga si kababayan ko, si Manuel Pinol. Sir Manny, with your respect, magkababayan tayo para tayong Ilonggo, pero mali itong ginawa mo. Pero bago ako magpasok, naalala ko si Ginoong Duterte. Minsan nag-speech si Ginoong Duterte. Sabi niya, minsan nagpapahilot ako na sa airport ako, nag-aantay ako ng flight para sumakay pa Manila. Habang nag-aantay ko, nagpamasahe ako dun sa mga bulag. Sa bawat daliri daw, isang bulag na masahe. Tapos ang lahat ng bulag, binibigyan na tag-100. So, maya-maya daw, habang nagpamasahe siya, dumating si Manny Pinol sa katabi niya. Nagpamasahe rin. Ang isang bulag na lumapit sa kanya, suminasahe siya sa ulo, si Manny Pinol. Kasi si Manny Pinol tsaka ako, pare kami Ilonggo. Dating gobernador siya ng North Cotabato. So ito ngayon, habang minamasahe daw siya nung bulag, sabi niya, Sir, Ilonggo ka sir, no? Sabi naman ni Pinol, hindi pa tayo nag-usap, paano mo nalaman na Ilonggo ako? Sir, maraming hangin kasi ulo mo eh. Bahala na kayo. Ano mo lang, short laugh lang, okay? Let us now proceed with the heavy topic. Okay, morning po, Julita De Villa. The first argument why Quezon City Regional Trial Court Branch 93 is wrong is because it has no jurisdiction or no authority to try and decide the case of cyberlibel against Frank Cinatu, a journalist in Baguio City. I do not know how related is he to Frank Cinatu, who was the Department of Environment and Natural Resources Secretary at the time when Dolomite Beach was constructed. Anyway, these are my arguments. The information against Frank Cinatu states no facts constituting the accusation of jurisdiction by the Regional Trial Court of Quezon City, Branch 93. The information for criminal case number R-QZN-18-0152-CR stated prominently that the private offended party, Agriculture Secretary Manuel Bani Pinol, was holding office in Quezon City. Pasensya na yung mga truck na dumadaan sa lugar ko. Apparently, this was stated in the blind belief by the court that jurisdiction over civil libel as to venue follows the rule under Article 360 of the revised penal code. So, by the way, what is Article 360? Article 360 in the revised penal code says that anyone who wants to complain for libel against another person must choose to file the case, if it is a criminal case, in the RTC of the city or province where, number one, the private complainant who is not a public officer, not a public employee, must file it in the RTC of or office of the prosecutor of the city or province where he was residing at the time of the publication of the alleged defamatory imputation or libel. That's number one choice. Number two choice, if the complainant or the offended party is a public officer, then he must file his libel case in the city or province, no, in the RTC and the prosecutor of the city or province where he was holding office at the time of the publication of the alleged libel. Number three choice, which can also be chosen by a private person or can be chosen also by an officer of the government, which is the city, the RTC, by the way, RTC and prosecutor's office of the city or province where the alleged libel was first published and printed. But that applies only on newspaper prints and on letters in handwritten or in typewritten. It does not apply to broadcast journal, broadcast media, broadcast libel. The, the rule is different if it is a broadcast libel. Okay? Now, let's go further. Let's go back a little and say that apparently this was stated in the blind belief that jurisdiction over cyber libel as to venue follows the rule in Article 260 of the revised penal code. Now, the prosecutor was thinking that the venue of trial for cyber libel follows the rule in Article 260 of the revised penal code. That is wrong, wrong, wrong. It is because cyber libel is a special law and it has its own rule of venue. By the way, before I proceed, let me just educate my listeners. If we speak of special law or special criminal law, these are laws punishing people for certain acts, but acts that are not defined as crimes in the revised penal code. But if the crimes are defined in the revised penal code, then it is called as penal crimes, not special penal crimes. And by the way, the original libel law is under Article 353 and Article 355 of the revised penal code, so that it is not a special law. So there's now a class of whether or not the cyber libel law may use the law in the revised penal code with respect to the venue or the place where you shall file the case. In this case, what is clear and succinct and expressive from the law and the law in point is Republic Act 10175, is that under Section 21 there, it says that any cybercrime may be filed in the following venue. Number one, in the RTC and prosecutor's office of the city or province where the crime was committed. If it is alleged in the information that he posted it in Quezon City, then Quezon City is the correct place where the case must be filed, tried, and the accused is convicted. But if it is not stated in the information and there is no proof to show where did the accused post the alleged libel, then it has another choice to show that one of the devices or one of the computers or a part of the computer in a computer system was used is found in Quezon City so that the Quezon City Court can have authority to try and decide the case against Frank Cinatu. So to restate it, the complainant for a cyber libel case may choose to file his complaint or her complaint in the prosecutor's office or the RTC of the city or province where one of the tools of the system of computers or internet was located at the time of the commission of the crime. Next, another choice. The offended party may file this case or complaint before the prosecutor's office or the regional trial court of the city or province where the damage against him was located at the time of the publication of the alleged libel. That's the rule. I'll state it and explain it in Tagalog later on. I'll go back to the topic. Under Article Section 21 of Republic Act 10175, it is stated that jurisdiction over trials of cybercrimes must be, number one, the RTC of the city or province where the cyber libel was committed when it is ascertainable by evidence. Number two, in the RTC of the city or province where one of the devices used in committing the crime is located, or in the RTC of the city or province where the damage occurred. Not one of these three circumstances was mentioned in the information. You know why I said so. In the trial of criminal cases, it is very important to state the ingredients of the crime. If the ingredients of the crime, if one of the ingredients is not stated, then you cannot convict the accused. Example, so for you to understand is this. There is the crime of parricide against the person and he being the accused. And he is being accused to have killed his wife. However, if it is not stated in the information stating the crime that they were married, then you cannot convict the accused of parricide. Because to convict the accused of parricide, you must prove a fact beyond reasonable doubt that the victim and the criminal were married to each other at the time of the killing, murder or homicide. So that if not one of these circumstances I mentioned above was present or was mentioned in the information above, then there is no justification for the RTC of Quezon City Branch 93 to convict Frank Cinatu or the Baguio journalist. Now, it is very clear. I'll just state it again. The information does not state that the cyber libel at issue was committed in Quezon City. It is not also stated in the information that the devices, one of them, was used in posting while that device was located in Quezon City. The same information does not state where the damage took place. So what kind of damage are we talking about here? The damage that we can talk about here is maybe you lost your business just because of the imputation that was posted on Facebook against you. And perhaps if I were Manny Pinol and I had that business selling in Quezon City, and nobody would now buy from my store because of the alleged libel, then that is special damage. But in this case, even if you will read and read and read all over and all over again the information how Frank Cinatu committed the crime, you can never see there, you can never read there that where did the damage occur. Or was there any special damage? No, there was none. There was no statement as such that it occurred in Quezon City. So now, the fact that the accused made a stipulation that the jurisdiction is a mistake is immaterial. Actually, Frank Cinatu admitted to the court that the court had jurisdiction over his case. However, even if the parties would agree that the court has jurisdiction, it cannot be accepted because what is supreme is the law. If the law says that the RTC has jurisdiction or authority to hear and decide the case, then that's the authority. Even if the accused and the complainant would make an agreement that, oh, the jurisdiction is in Quezon City, that cannot be accepted because jurisdiction is a matter of law. It's not a matter of agreement. Okay? So that the decision of the Honorable Court based on this is irrespective of whether there is truth to the factual finding of whether the subject post on Facebook is cyberlibel is null and void. If we speak of null and void, it means to say that it has no effect. Legally speaking, it has no effects from the very beginning. It cannot be respected. Now, the second argument is this. The information does not state that the libel here was committed through imputation of a crime. What do you mean by imputation? If I speak of imputation, it means that I am saying, what did I say against you? That is the imputation. And here, the imputation in point is this. Agri-Sec got rich by 21M in 6 months. Bird flu pa more. That is the statement that was posted by Mr. Frank Cinatu on his Facebook page. And so many reacted on it. Now, it is very clear that it is an imputation that Manny Pinol committed the crime of corruption, isn't it? It's very clear. So if it is very clear, then the information must state that Frank Cinatu posted a statement that he was claiming that Manny Pinol committed a crime for him to become rich by 21 million in 6 months. But in here, the statement in the information, it didn't state that Frank Cinatu made a statement that Manny Pinol committed the crime. But to the contrary, what the information said was this. It stated that Frank Cinatu stated a defamatory imputation or a statement that destroyed the reputation of Mr. Pinol by means of stating a defect, a vice, a condition, or a status. Can you say that this got rich by 21M in 6 months and bird flu pa more? Is it a statement of defect? No, I don't see. Is it a statement of vice, bisyo? No, I don't see. Is it a statement of condition, which is bad for a person? No, it is not. Or does it state as a status? No, with more reason. So that it is very clear that if the information does not state that it was an imputation of a crime, then the RTC of Quezon City, Branch 93, has no authority to convict Frank Cinatu. Moreover, if there is still a doubt, and if you insist that it was a statement of crime, it is a doubt. And you know, my dear subscribers, you know that accused can only be convicted by proof beyond reasonable doubt. If it is doubtful whether it is a statement of a crime or not, then you cannot convict Frank Cinatu because it is not a statement of condition, not a statement of vice, not a statement of condition, or not a statement of status as written in the information. Okay. Now, the information states that the defamatory imputation was stated by imputing unto Emmanuel Pinol a crime or a criminal act of graft and corruption. I only repeated my argument. What is proved in the trial was that the imputation was a crime of graft and corruption and not that of defect, vice, condition, or status. So as such, accused Frank Cinatu cannot be convicted because the prosecution failed to prove the existence of the fact that the accused imputed unto Pinol any defect, vice, condition, or status. The best that the prosecution can get is doubt. Doubt whether the imputation of an act of a graft and corruption can be interpreted as defect, vice, condition, or status. And if there is doubt, acquit. And it is stated in Latin, and in dubio pro reo, which means in English, in doubt for the accused. Now, I am arguing that there is actually no defamatory imputation. If I say so, there is no statement here that damaged the personality, the honor, the reputation of Mr. Manny Piñol. Because what was stated was this: Agrisec got rich by 21M in 6 months. Bird flu pa more. Can you see there that Frank Cinatu stated that Manny Piñol committed the crime of corruption? I don't see any. And if you say there is, then that's doubt. And you cannot convict him because of doubt. As I said a while ago, in dubio pro reo, in doubt for the accused. If there is nothing in the statement that says that the claim that Agriculture Secretary Manny Piñol employed corrupt scheme to be reached by 21 million in 6 months, then you cannot convict Frank Cinatu. Okay, let's proceed. The statement may be doubtful, as I said a while ago, and it really hurt Manny Piñol at first glance. But when looked at too deeper, the fact remains that there is no insinuation that the Agriculture Secretary got rich by means of corruption or any graft act. As such, there is a lingering doubt to constitute as a reasonable doubt to acquit the accused. Neither can it be that the phrase bird flu pa more interpreted beyond reasonable doubt as an imputation of a crime of corruption or any vice, defect, condition, status. Now, another argument, there is no statement of special damage and there was no proof of special damage. Okay, we beg the pardon of the Honorable Court. With due respect, the Court did not apply the doctrine of special damage as an indispensable ingredient for an imputation to be considered as libel. This is succinct in Dionisio Lopez A. Aberasturi versus People case, decided by the Supreme Court under GR number 172203, February 14, 2011, which said, truth be told, that somehow the private respondent was not pleased with the controversial printed matter. But that is grossly insufficient to make it actionable by itself. Personal hurt or embarrassment or offense, even if real, is not automatically equivalent to defamation. Words which are merely insulting are not actionable as libel or slander per se. And mere words of general abuse, however opprobrious, ill-natured, or vexatious, whether written or spoken, do not constitute basis for an action for defamation in the absence of an allegation for special damage. The fact that the language is offensive to the plaintiff does not make it actionable by itself. As the court ruled in MVR's publications versus Islamic Dawa Council of the Philippines Incorporated. Okay, here it is undisputable that there is nothing in the information that states that there was that special damage that was caused on Manny Pinol. So ergo, there was no cyber libel that was committed by Frank Cinatu. Moreover, it the court did not follow the order of the Supreme Court in the case of U.S. versus Bustos, which is GR number 12592, decided on March 8, 1918. It said there, as written by Justice George Malcolm, the interest of the society and the maintenance of good government demands full discussion of public affairs. No person, no official, no public officer can complain if the criticism, even if it is wrong, even if it is false, pertains to his performance of official function. Now, isn't it that bird flu was official function of Manny Pinol because he was that agriculture secretary? Yes, it is an official function, which means even if the criticism is false, as long as it pertains to the performance of an official function by a public officer, there is no libel. Moreover, Justice Malcolm said that it, any public officer is not authorized to be onion skin. Anyway, Justice Malcolm also said that even if it is wrong and you are innocent as a public officer, even without seeking vindication for your name and honor, your clear conscience is sufficient as a balm to massage your body and to clear your conscience. That is it. And with this, babalik ako ng konti, explain ko sa Tagalog. Babalikan ko. Ang unang argumento pa namin ay walang kapangyarihan ang RTC Quezon City na hawakan ang kaso at desisyonan na ikukulong o ikukonvict si Mr. Frank Cinatu ng Baguio City. Kasi sa information pa lang sinasabi doon na yun daw ay cyber libel. Kung cyber libel, pagkukumit sa Facebook, kung Facebook, saan ba talaga? Siyempre, pwede ka mag-post sa Facebook dyan sa Saudi Arabia. Titirahin mo si Manny Pinol. Pwede ka mag-post ng Facebook dyan sa New York. Pwede dyan sa Spain. Pwede rin ka sa lugar. At tanong, saan ka pwede ililitisin? Saan ka pwede pupusasan? Sa Quezon City ba? No way. Hindi nga nila napatunayan dito sa kaso na basa kong decision kung saan ba talaga ni Frank Cinatu pinost kung sa Baguio City. Kaya kung taga Baguio siya, di ba kung taga Baguio siya, dapat doon sa Baguio siya kinasuhan, di ba? Oh. Pero hindi naman kasi inamin ni Frank Cinatu kung saan niya pinost. Hindi naman niya kinontra. Ang problema to sa kanya at saka abogado niya, bakit hindi la kontra? Na gano'n na hindi na pinost. I do not want to speculate. Kaya mali ang abogado nila. So sinasabi naman na sa ilalim ng ang cyber libel sa ilalim ng Republic Act 10175 ay hiwalay na libel kumpara sa revised penal code na libel. Kaya hindi mo pwede magamit ang batas ng venue or jurisdiction sa revised penal kasi hiwalay naman ang libel ng Republic Act 10175. At sa Section 21 ng Republic Act 10175 ay nagsasabi na pwede mo malamang maisampa yung iyong kaso sa piskal o sa RTC ng siyudad o lalawigan kung saan naisagawa, kung saan niya actual nag-post sa Facebook o sa Instagram o sa Twitter o kung sa WhatsApp o sa Viber. Tapos sinabi, pwede ring magkaso sa RTC o sa probinsya o sa piskal kung sa lalawigan o sa lungsod kung saan ang isa ang part ng computer ng sistema ay makikita nung pinost niya. Pero sa toong buhay lang, wala naman mangyari ng ganun. Kasi kung saan ka, kompleto na, Facebook, sa gagamitin ko lang aking cellphone, okay na, hindi ko na kailangan ibang gadget. Habang nagla-live tayo dito, cellphone lang gagagamit ko. At ginagamit ko StreamYard para sabay-sabay ang buga. Bumubuga ako sa Twitter, bumubuga din ako sa Facebook, bumubuga din ako sa tinatawag na YouTube. Sinabi rin dito ng batas ng Section 21 ng RE 10175 na pwede rin siya magsampa ng kaso sa RTC o sa Prosecutor's Office ng lungsod o lalawigan kung saan nagkaroon ng damage o danyos, perwissyos, kung saan na-destroy ang kanyang karangalan. Eh di kung saan na-destroy, halimbawa, politiko ka, ako, politiko, tumatakbo ako sa Coronadal City. Kung na-damage ako sa Coronadal City dahil wala nang buboto sa akin sa Coronadal City, yun, pwede mo sabihin na doon ka damage. Ang problema dito sa impormasyon na sinulat ng prosecution ay hindi nakalagay kung saan damage nangyari. Kung may damage nga laban kay Manny Pinol. Ang problema, mayroong damage kasi pinag-isa nila yung civil case na danyos at yung criminal case. At sa civil case, pinarusahan pa si inutusan pa si Frank Cinatu na magbayad ng 300,000 pesos. Pero hindi nakabanggit kung saan nangyari yung 300,000 pesos. So, if I were his lawyer, I will win this case. Siguro nakita nyo ng dahilan kung bakit nananalo ko sa lahat ng kaso ko na hinawakan sa kaso ng libel ni Persilapid. So ngayon, diretso tayo. Tagalogin ko kasi. So dahil may hiwalay na batas yung cyberlibel, hindi mo pwedeng gamitin ang Article 360 Revised Penal Code para malaman mo kung saan isampa ang kaso. Ganun lang kasimple yan. Kung ganun man, dahil pinagpipilitan ng RTC Quezon City, edi walang bisa yung desisyon ng RTC Quezon City. Kaya tinutulungan ko, nag-usap na kami ni Sir Frank Cinatu, ginawan ko siya ng pang-motion for reconsideration niya at kausapin niya ang abogado niya na isama niya itong argumentong ito. So, ano pa bang ibang sabihin? Ito sa ikalawang argumento ay hindi nagbabanggit sa impormasyon o akusasyon na ang binanggit ni Frank Cinatu ay patungkol sa krimen ng korupsyon. Wala eh. Kasi pag binasa mong impormasyon, sinasabi ay ginawa daw ang pagsasalita na nakakasira sa condition, status, vice, and defect. Hindi crime. Patay. Pag hindi mo kasi nabanggit, halimbawa, kinasuhan mo ng parricide ang isang tao dahil pinatay niya kanyang misis. Ngayon, hindi mo binanggit sa impormasyon na asawa niya pala at hindi mo binanggit na may marriage contract sila, di, bagsak ang kaso. Dismiss ang parricide. Kung di, kung may krimen man pagpatay, magiging kasong homicide na lang yun. Mas maliit ang parusa kasi kung parricide, reclusion perpetua. So, in-explain ko na kanina kasi sinabi, agrisect got reached by 21M in 6 months. Bird flu pa more. Ibig sabihin, parang pinapalabas ni Frank Cinatu na gumawa ng krimen na corruption si Manny Pinol. Pero, sabi ko kanina, mali naman ang nilagay sa impormasyon. Ang ginawa na ko ay defect, vice, condition, or status. Bagsak. Dapat acquitted si Frank Cinatu dito. So, isa pa, walang defamatory imputation, walang paninirang puri na salita na nangyari. Bakit kako? Ulitin natin, ano bang sinabi? Agrisec got reached by 21M in 6 months. Meron ba paninira dyan? Ang argumento ko dito ay, hindi yan paninirang puri sapagkat wala namang sinabi na kinita niya sa korupsyon. Di ba? Hindi man ibig sabihin na nangungurap kung bird flu. Di ba? Ganun lang kasimple. So, ibig sabihin, because of doubt, duda, ay i-acquit mo yung tao. Hindi ko naman sinasabi na hindi, pero duda, merong duda. So, isa pa, walang statement na special damage kasi sa ilalim ng kasong Dionisio Lopez E. Averasturi versus People na dinesisyonan ng Supreme Court noong February 14, 2011 sa GR number 172203 ay sinabi niya kailangan mag-allege ka ng may special damage na nangyari o specific damage na nangyari sa tao kay Manny Pinol para sabihin mo na may libel. Eh dito wala eh. Kaya basahin ko ang utos ng Supreme Court dito sa kasong ito. Kasi sa ilalim po ng Article 8 ng ating Civil Code of the Philippines, ang lahat po ng desisyon ng Supreme Court na nag-interpret ng mga batas ay batas na rin. Kaya ito batas na rin dapat sundin ng RTC. At sinabi ng Supreme Court, truth be told, that somehow the private respondent was not pleased with the controversial printed matter. But that is grossly insufficient to make it actionable by itself. Ang ibig sabihin sa Tagalog, sabi niya, sasabihin na natin ang katotohanan na hindi nagustuhan ni Manny Pinol ang sinabi na doon na sinulat. Pero ang katotohanan ay kulang na kulang yan para sabihin mo na may libel. Sabi naman Supreme Court, personal hurt or embarrassment or offense, even if real, is not automatically equivalent to defamation, sabi niya. Yung personal ka nasaktan, or na-embarrass ka, ano ba sa Tagalog ba, napahiya ka, or ikaw ay, you take it as an offense, kahit totoo man yan o hindi, or imagination lang, ay hindi yan automatic na nasasabi na defamation o libel. Sabi ng Supreme Court, words which are merely insulting are not actionable as libel. Kahit nakaka-insulto pa yan, hindi yan libel. Hindi sinasabi. Or hindi yan slander. Kasi salita lamang, mere words of general abuse, however obvious, ill-natured, or vexatious, whether written or spoken, do not constitute basis for action for defamation. Sabi niya, yung mga salita na may pang-abuso, o parang general statement, o sweeping statement na nag-abuso, kahit na masama pa, kahit na pakasakit pa, ay sinabi man o sinulat, kung walang aligasyon, kung paano ka na-damage, kung paano ka nagkaroon ng damage, ay hindi libel. So dito, dahil hindi nabanggit, walang libel, di ba? Ganun na kasimple yun. So here it is undisputable that there is nothing in the information that states that there was a special damage that was caused on the offended party. Additionally, sinabi ko na sa English, sa desisyon ng Supreme Court dan, sundin din dapat ng RTC ito, Quezon City, Branch 93, na sinabi sa US versus Bustos na GR number 12592 at desisyonan noong March 1918 ay sinabi niya, the interest of the society, ang interest ng lipunan, and the maintenance of good government at ang pagpapanatili sa kaayusan ng pamahalaan demands full public discussion ay nangangailangan ng buong-buong pag-uusap kung paano tungkol dun sa mga pagtatrabaho. At sinabi pa rito na kung ikaw ay opisyal, wala kang karapatang magreklamo kapag ang kritisismo ay patungkol sa iyong trabaho. At sinabi rin kapag ikaw ay public officer, wala kang karapatan na maging onion skin. At halimbawa, mali rin, sinabi ng Supreme Court, kung mali din yan, kahit na mali, basta kung ikaw ay totoo na hindi ka corrupt, hindi ka naman nagkasala, ang konsensya mo na wala kang kasalanan ay sapat na para mahilot ang iyong katawan na mawala yung galit sa dibdib. Diba? So with that, I now close the discussion. At good morning po sa inyo lahat. At regalo ko ito sa inyo na pag-aral sa batas. At sana naman ay hindi maulit at natulungan din si Reza na Maria Reza. Marami pang ibang na-convict din sa libel at matulungan din, no? At siguro, masasabi nyo, makikita nyo yung dahilan kung bakit lahat ng kasong libel ni Percy Lapid ay naipanalo ko. So with that, I end the discussion. Good morning po sa inyong lahat. Ito po si Atty. Toto Kasing dito sa aking programa na Katotohanan. Thank you. Merry Christmas.